Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so NBA. First of all, Joel Embiid, he's going through the same thing Vanderbilt's going through, man. He got to figure out if he's going to be out for the season. From what I understand, he has something is loose in his knee. I didn't quite understand the diagnosis based on what I read, so I'm not going to try to even make any sense of it here. All I know is he's going to be missing some time, and he's got to figure out if he wants to have rehab or a procedure. Either way, he's out. People were laughing at Kendrick Perkins for saying that he thought they should shut down Joel Embiid. Don't look like they have a choice. They may have to shut him down for the rest of the season, as Kendrick Perkins said. So, I already said what I had to say about that Jonathan Kuminga freak accident. They call it an accident. I don't really know. Man. It didn't look good to me. I stand on that. That just didn't look good. I've watched a lot of basketball. I've seen a lot of accidents. That was a big leg, and you're hovering over it, and you land on it, shoulder first into the knee. I don't know, man. That looked Bush League to me, to be completely honest with you. But, I'll leave it at that. Get well soon, Joel. Get well soon, Vando. Of course, as I said, same situation. I ain't quite sure the diagnosis, as far as, how bad the foot is, but it was non-contact. And so as a result, he's going to miss several weeks, and he's going to have to figure out if he wants to have a procedure, or if the procedure is necessary in his case, as to which that would keep him out for the remainder of the season. So that's a hard pill to swallow for us Laker fans. We have a hard enough time getting him back on the floor after missing with the heel injury. And now he's out with another foot injury of some sort. I think our team is going to be in a position to where maybe we can make some moves, bring in a Caruso, bring in a Dorian Finney-Smith, bring in somebody, Bruce Brown, maybe to help us in that area. But to be honest with you, I don't know if it makes sense as a fan to even make the moves, pay that price, especially if it's going to cost us some futures. I don't think it makes much sense. And you given the fact that you're going to be barely a 500 team going into the All-Star break, it's kind of hard to say, it makes sense to give up stuff that's going to affect us 3-4 years down the road to just kind of patch up this team that's already missing such a massive piece in Dorian Finney-Smith. I know for LeBron James, every year is win now. Every year needs to be addressed as if it's right here and now. And that is why I'm of the mindset that we go ahead and move Bron now. Because at the end of the day, we can't keep mortgaging more and more of our future only to find him opting out at the end of the season to go play with his son. If I'm gonna mortgage more of my future, I gotta know I'm doing it not only just for this season that looks like it's already over to me. And that's the point. If you can drag this team to an NBA championship this year, then it's worth it to make those moves. Do I believe you can do that? No, absolutely not. And I don't think you guys, Bron and AD, are the best bet to stay healthy for the remainder of the season. AD's already played more games in a row than he's probably ever played. He's been more available than probably anybody else in the league over the last year, according to a stat I read. Is that something I want to continue to bet on? Hell no. Hell no. I'm proud of AD. I respect AD. I like what he's doing. I hope he keeps it up. But as far as me putting money on that or betting half the farm on that, hell no. Zero no. Not going to do it. So do I think this season is over? Hell yeah, I think this season's over. It's a wrap. As soon as Vando went down with that non-contact foot injury, it was a wrap. Because whatever you got to do to patch up the fact that he's going to be gone, it's going to cost him more than what you probably should be mortgaging at this point. That's the reality of it. Based on the specifics of the timeline and the sensitivity of whether or not that timeline can go past this moment right here and now. Sensitivity, fam. Because Bron could opt out right here and now and go play with his son in Utah or something like that. And I'm stuck holding the bag with a bunch of stuff that I brought here for last season, which is this season right now, and no futures because of it. Or maybe two more since we get two more unlocked, and we can further kick the can down the road for this season, trying to continue to keep up with this timeline that we can no longer afford to keep up with. Bingo. That is the point I wanted to make. The Lakers can't afford this timeline anymore. cash-wise, yeah, maybe. I mean, Genie probably got the money, but equity-wise, NBA-wise, having to mortgage more and more of our future to keep up with LeBron's timeline, absolutely not, fam. We can't afford it. We cannot afford it. And that's what it really comes down to. If we had Utah's war chest, if we had OKC's war chest, yeah, we could probably, let's give another couple picks over there, bring us a win now piece. Bruce Brown, let's go 2 first rounders, go get Bruce. Another first rounder, go get Caruso, and you still got a package of first round picks. We ain't got that right now. We got 1 first round pick. We got some young players who are hopefully ascending in value. Other than that, we ain't got a whole lot to really get better with. And guys demand us get better every damn summer. And so we can't afford it. And that's the zeroing in on the point that I have kind of beat around the bush in regards to. It's not even about the willingness to do so. It's just that the Lakers are running out of stuff to trade to get better. One more mistake and we ain't going to be able. You understand what I'm saying? One more Russell Westbrook situation and we ain't going to be able to make the trades necessary to keep up with this timeline. We just ain't going to have it. One more bad injury. It's a wrap. One more person walking out the door like D'Lo. It's a wrap. So for me, it's like, forget my willingness. That's the wrong way to articulate this if I'm the Lakers. My ability to afford this timeline is run out. And that's what I want LeBron James to understand, man. That's what I want LeBron James to understand. We can't afford the timeline anymore, Laker fans. Can't afford it. Unless we move on from LeBron James. Then we can bring in the requisite amount of tradable stuff that will allow us to keep up with a win now timeline. Unfortunately, he is the win now timeline. So you're back to square one. Now, AD is still in place, but I cannot imagine AD is going to want to play for this team if LeBron James is traded. I can't imagine. Maybe he loves being in LA that much, but I can't see us getting a better quick enough for him in the twilight of his prime to be able to lead a team. By the time we're ready to win again, he'll probably exit that prime and we'll be at square one trying to figure out who can lead us. That's my worry about AD. He's in that sweet spot where if you can win right now, we can do this for the next 2-3 years. If it's going to take 2 or 3 years for us to get to that point, he's probably not going to be where we need him to be by the time that comes around. It's going to be too late for him. So that's what I'm saying to all of y'all, man. I don't know about this Lakers situation, man. I'm not going to sit here and act like I got that understood fully, man, because at the end of the day, we need a lot and we don't have a lot, especially with Vanderbilt going down. If this injury is going to keep him out for the remainder of the season and we can't count on him to be available in the playoffs, how the hell are we guarding some of these players that we ultimately have to go up against? How are you guarding SGA? How are you guarding De'Aaron Fox? How are you guarding Jamal Murray? Like, you're not. That's the answer. You're absolutely not going to guard those people. You're going to have to deal with that, the fact that you can't. You're going to have Austin on the floor who can't guard me. You're going to have D'Lo on the floor if you don't trade him. It ain't enough. It's just not enough, man. So what I'm saying to y'all is this. If the Lakers are serious about winning a championship, they're going to have to understand that it may not be possible to do so, but you can ruin future opportunities at winning a championship if you keep kicking the can down the road with this timeline. You may not be able to build what you need to build to be a championship contender in the future. And when you're trying to attract the Giannis's and the Luka Doncic and the Jokic or whoever, Wemby's, when you're trying to attract those type of pieces, you're not going to have the leg to stand on to say, I am a team that y'all should come to play for, other than the fact that we got this purple and gold in this history, which don't sell nobody nothing. We went through this with LaMarcus Aldridge. We went through this with Carmelo Anthony. We couldn't attract them dudes. Why? Because the team's infrastructure was no good and our war chest was trash and they couldn't win here. So they thought. And they chose other places. And we got left at the altar, and I'm telling you, that is exactly where we're headed if we keep kicking the can down the road with this win now timeline every damn year. Win now, make trades every damn year. I'm not good enough, so we need to get others in here in place of what we have, break up the continuity, you know, so I can lead this team type stuff. It just doesn't We don't find ourselves being able to do it anymore. That's what it comes down to. And that probably is our fault. It's probably Rob's fault. Drafting poorly with the 17th overall pick. You see what Whitmore's doing. Putting the ball behind his back, dunking on people 12 straight points in the first half. I mean, that type of stuff is like, bro, you took Jalen. He ain't worth much. He's a throw-in to help you get that piece. Now, we had already spilt about that. I'm not going to get into that any further. But the point is, it's probably our fault. But just the same, you got to fix it. Or live with the problem. And look, the best way to do that is to re-up on plentiful assets that you can trade. And you got to let go of what it is that costs the most in order to make that happen. You're not going to be able to do that if you're holding on to the two most valuable pieces and expecting your other stuff to bring that to you. You got to move those pieces for what they're worth so that you can literally reset that for which you can use to make trades and get better and all of that. Salary cap is a mug, man. It does what it does. You cannot just simply bring yourself everything you want. This ain't the MLB. It's not. It's the NBA. And in the NBA, you got to have draft picks and valuable players in order to get better. And we're running out of that. And we're going to be in a worse spot if we keep on mortgaging more of that. As soon as we get new picks, we want to trade them away immediately. You're never going to be any good in the future. You're going to be so bad and so without the ability to move that you're going to be counting on free agents solely to come in so that you can trade them away. Anything you ever get in free agency, you know for a fact you're going to have to trade away to get good enough. It's like, why would you even sign up for that? You know what I'm saying? It's literally what you put signing up for when you don't have any picks. Talking about, yeah, we're going to trade away. I was listening to Trevor Lane talking about, yeah, for sure. Give up Jalen Hood-Schifino and a first-round pick for Alex Caruso. Fam, Alex Caruso ain't going to make us an NBA champion. Hey, buddy, what's up? That's all good. Hey. It's not going to make you good enough. That's the problem. AC ain't going to make you good enough. He going to be a piece we like. But you exit in the second round at best. That's assuming AD and Bron stay healthy for the rest of the season. I'm not mortgaging no more of my future knowing that I'm sitting here on my thumbs waiting for an opportunity for 2 more picks to come tradable, fam. I didn't mortgage every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Everything. And what? 1 NBA Finals appearance to show for it? 1 championship to show for it? Are you kidding me? No, fam. Enough of this. Stop mortgaging my damn future for these win now timelines that are occurring every summer. This is what needs to be said. We thought we were in a win now timeline 4 years ago. If we would have sat on what we had 4 years ago, knowing that this core was still going to be here, we would have been 10 times better than we are right now. But we kept mortgaging everything, thinking every moment was the last moment. And as a result, we didn't have what we need when it's time to do what we need to do. That's been the biggest problem. When people say LeBron James is the problem, that is actually where that problem lies within this circumstance. We never have nothing because we're always trying to hurry up and win that season, mortgaging everything in future seasons to get what we need for that season. Every year. That is a big, huge problem because it's never actually the last year until now, where he's averaging all the points he's ever averaged, all the assists he's ever averaged, all the rebounds he ever averaged, but wants to go elsewhere to play with his son. It's like, fam, what? At the end of the day, one has to ask, how does that help me if I don't trade you, fam? I done mortgage everything for you every year just to come down to it being this? And then when I say, yo, I want to save myself, it's like I've defended him. How do I defend you, fam? Like, we done everything for you. All we trying to do is make sure that we can do everything for the next guy, too, who may actually be you. Hell, you may come back. Why wouldn't you want us to be as strong as possible? You know what I'm saying? If you want the Lakers to be mighty, it can't just be our lure that we're living off of. We need equity, fam. OKC, Utah Jazz, New York Knicks, Boston Celtics, probably a few others, or Orlando Magic, Houston Rockets. Those are teams who really have it right now. They can do it. If LeBron just goes there outright, they can do whatever every year, because they're gonna have something good to trade while good stuff to retain every year. And then most of their parts are not stuck in just two humans, AD and Bron. You don't want me to liquidate AD. Nobody's asking me to trade AD for a bunch of stuff that can keep me in a position to do this crap every year. Because if they do, we won't have enough, because you obviously need him. You can't have everything. That's not just a narrative. Unfortunately enough, as I say this aloud, I realize it's not just a narrative. It's actually the evidence of what it is that we've seen with this situation. In this tenure with Bron, you always need to be able to replenish what you have at the trade deadline. There's always going to be a need for you to bring him more. Problem is, you're going to be mortgaging everything you have every season to do so. It's impossible to keep up with that. And I'm telling you, I'm getting the feeling, and this is bigger than basketball, bigger than anything, I'm getting the feeling that it's time for LeBron to understand what he's put other people through in demanding this all this time. Trades, not having enough. He demands these things, man. And we can't say that's just narratives, because every time we get around this time, we start getting the subliminals. You know, seriously. Start getting the subliminals. Start getting the tweets. It's like, brother, this is your way of telling us we need to do what it is that the narrative is implying that you were telling us we need to do. And I'm not mad at that necessarily, but it does come to a point where you say, I'm depleted of what I can do for you in this way. The only way I can continue doing this at all is if I move you to do it. That Russell Westbrook thing did that to us, man. You wanted Russell. We had a trade to send him to Kyle Kuzma to Sacramento, but y'all wanted Russell Westbrook. And in doing so, we gave away future picks, future players, including Kyle Kuzma, and KCP, future NBA champion 2 times over at that point, for Russell at $47 million when you couldn't even play with this dude. We never replenished that. Never quite got what that 47 would have been worth to us if we would have just kept it in some different form. And we got to make that right in order to continue doing stuff that you want us to do, man. So that's why I'm saying in my video this morning, I said enough of this pouting. That's what I'm referring to. It's like, bro, we done did everything you want us to do. And you've had a difficult time dragging it to where it needs to go. And we can get mad at these damn coaches, but at the end of the day, with all the power that Bron has, man, he needs to just step up to these coaches and say, fam, stop playing this dude. Stop running small ball lineups. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. That's where I really got frustrated personally. It's just not seeing the changes necessary to make us good while Bron is sitting there with all that power. Like, bro, you letting these coaches do all this stupid stuff around you that's costing you losses only for us to have to back into making changes that could, in theory, not even be necessary if these coaches use these teams better. Why don't you have such ferocious energy toward them coaches when they putting these bad lineups on the floor that's making us lose? You got all this energy against our GM to make moves to improve the team, but a lot of times it's the stuff that you allow that ultimately lets our team be lesser than what it actually is. So when it's time to make trades, the players ain't worth as much because they've been in bad systems that you sat there and allowed to be the case. Ain't no way I'm letting Darvin Ham run 3 guard lineups with non-shooters for half a damn season. If I'm LeBron James, he out of here. Or I'm talking to him directly. Look, fam, this is some bull crap. It does not work. And this is what goes wrong. I am the greatest player of all time. I know this ain't going to work. I'm not going to sit here and let it work out the way that it does, only to turn to the GM and say, okay, now mortgage more of the future. so that we can get better. That ain't where we getting better. We getting better with these moves on the court, making our players look better. So we ain't got to cost so much to make the trades you want made. I think these type of things really correlate with one another. Man, look, Luke Walton, he sat there and let Luke Walton do some stuff that I didn't agree with. He sat there and let Frank Vogel do stuff that I didn't agree with. He's sitting here letting Darvin do stuff I don't agree with. You're LeBron damn James. You walk up to that damn coach, say, listen, man, we're losing because of this shit. Stop doing it. And what are you going to do? Stop doing it? That's what I think has been missing. There's more than one way to fix a team. And the most important way is to make sure that the scheme doesn't play into itself, its own deficiencies. So when I look at things that LeBron James could have done differently, it's not letting these coaches run amok, running schemes that he and I both know don't work. Having him run the center position with 3 short people my height running around on the basketball floor. How you going to win the game? How you going to win? Nobody's rebounding. How you winning? It just comes to a point where you just got to start asking Brian, hey, look, man, you can push your power around this away, but where you really needed to push it was there. And just like Kendrick Perkins said, man, the passive-aggressive stuff, people don't really react to that because it gives them a plausible deniability to say he really don't mean what he's saying. He ain't actually saying what it is that people saying he's saying, so I don't have to make no damn changes. Nah, you got to step up like I'm telling you. Man up. Because you're giving people plausible deniability with these subliminals. They get to sit up and say, nah, he didn't mean that, so I can keep on doing what I'm doing. Until you directly disarm them of that and say, yo, I meant this. I meant this. That's the only way. It ain't about you being fake or nothing like, nah, it's about effectively telling people and disarming them from being able to say, well, I didn't know. So they can continue doing the bull crap, disrespecting your point of view. That's the flip side to that. Yeah, it gives you the ability to say I didn't say, but in not saying, you don't get things done. There's two sides to that coin. And so that's where I'm at with LeBron, man. He got to step up and say, look, it ain't just about you getting rid of the coach. It's about while he here, he doing stuff that helps us win. And if he ain't going to help us win, you got the wrong guy, get him out of here. And that's where we're at now. But it's too late for that, fam. We needed that 3 years ago with the last coach. He stuck around too damn long doing stuff that didn't work. And it's just like I said, man. We go through this cycle again. And now people want us to make trades. Players ain't worth half of what they would be if we weren't running these stupid schemes. And so, yeah, man, I'm frustrated, man. I wake up, see this man in a Knicks jersey. I'm frustrated, bro. It ain't even about anything other than what led up to this and why are we here? And did people realize what got them here? It ain't because people want to turn their back on you and nothing like that. It just trickles down to stuff like this. It's not being executed properly. You know what I'm saying? So when I get up on my channel and say, yo, we can trade this man for 5 picks and make Bride and Quentin Grimes and whatever the salary match would be, Juju or something, it ain't because I'm mad at LeBron James or because I want to see him fail or I'm sick of the narrative and none of that. If I had enough to do what it is he asked us to do, then I'd be happy to move on from all the stuff that it needs to be moved on from. But why does it need to be moved on from? It ain't because it sucks. It's because a lot of times the system around LeBron that he is cool with be failing. And the coaches be shell-shocked because they trying to win under that pressure. So they don't really be making the right decisions under that pressure. It's like, man, all of this is bullshit. It's bull jive, man. It's all bull jive. People need to step up, say what they mean what they say, stand on business as they love to say, and move forward in the decision that's going to help the team, man. And stop asking people to mortgage every damn thing. Every damn year. For a timeline is supposed to be win now for the past 7 years straight. Win now every year. Win now every year. At some point it's like, yo, bro, we can't keep doing this. And I think that's where we are at. I think that's exactly where you find yourself. If you're a Laker fan and you're a Laker organization, we can't keep mortgaging everything for you, brother.
Okay, now
You gotta let us breathe a bit
have a name?
so that we have some future past your tenure. And if you only care about your tenure, then we need to capture the understanding of that and then move on from you, so that we'll have some sense of being able to do for ourselves while you thinking of you. BDL 44, thank you all for watching. I'm out.